Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1978 New York Yankees baseball, and it is June 2nd. The Yankees travel out to Oakland to take on the A's. Leading off for the Yankees, playing center field, Mickey Rivers. Batting second, playing second, Willie Randolph. Batting third, doing the catchings, Thurman Munson. Batting fourth, playing left field, Lou Piniella. Batting fifth, playing first base, Chris Chambliss. Batting sixth, playing third base is Greg Nettles. Batting seventh and DHing is Cliff Johnson. Batting eighth and playing right field, Paul Blair. Batting ninth and playing shortstop is Bucky Dent. And for the hometown Oakland A's, leading off playing center field, McGill Delane. Batting second, playing second, Mike Edwards. Batting third, playing shortstop, Mariana Guerrera. Batting fourth, playing left field, Mitch Page. Batting fifth, doing the catching, Jeff Newman. Batting sixth, playing third base, Taylor Duncan. Batting seventh, DHing is Tony Armas. Batting eighth, playing first base, Jim Essen. And on the mound, batting ninth and playing right field, Gary Alexander. And on the mound for the A's is John Henry Johnson. And we forgot to look at who's starting here for the Yankees. And Ron Guidry's on the mound for the Yanks. Let's get down here to Oakland and get this game started, folks. Alrighty, and to lead it off is going to be Mickey Rivers. And Mickey's batting 246 on the year with 2 homers and 18 RBIs. This is John Henry Johnson's 10th start of the year. He's 4-2 with a 2.91 ERA. Here's the pitch to Mick. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Johnson. And he fires over to first for out number 1. And up next is Willie Randolph. Willie batting 281 with a homer and 17 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Duncan at third for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down here for the Yanks. Now Thurman Munson's up. And Munson's batting 298, 3 homers and 28 RBIs. And that's another ground ball down to third. The Yankees go down in order, 1, 2, 3. To the bottom of the first we go. And you got Oakland's upcoming schedule here. They got 2 more games here in Oakland against the Yankees. Then Boston comes to town for 2 games. And then California comes to town. Miguel Delone is due up now, batting 291 with no homers and 5 RBIs. This is Guidry's 11th start of the year. He's 7-1 with a .9 ERA. Here's the pitch to McGill. And that's going to be a fly ball. Wait a second. That's going to be a swing and a miss. Guidry strikes him out number 1. And now we got Mike Edwards up now. Edwards is batting 265 on the year with a homer and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Gator. That slider's working so far today. And now you got Guerrera up, batting 253 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs. And that's going to be another strikeout. Guidry strikes the side out. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We go to the top of the second, no score. And you can see the team comparisons. The Yankees are 35-12. They've struck out 331 times, walked 214 times, hit 115 doubles, 26 triples. And the A's are 24-23. They've struck out 359 times, walked 224 times, hit 78 doubles and 23 triples. Lou Piniella due up here, followed by Chambliss and Nettles. And Lou's batting 336, 2 homers and 20 RBIs. And here's the pitch to Lou. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Alexander and right for out number 1. And Chris Chambliss comes to the plate now. Chambliss batting .261, 2 homers and 28 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty. That'll be a 12. And that's going to be a single in the right field. Chambliss turns on that. And Alexander gets over, holds him to a single. First base hit of the game here. Now you got Chambliss down at first. Greg Nettles at the plate. We're going to move some stuff around here. I can see it already. So might as well get it out of the way here. Go behind the scenes here in Oakland and move some of this around so it looks a little better on the screen. Everything's bunched up. So we'll start off here at first. Move him out here a little bit. Second base. Put him about there. And shortstop, we'll put him here. Third base about there. And let's see, we'll even move the batter some. There. And there. First base, we'll move him over some. That'll be good there. Second base will be fine. And third base, we'll move him over a little bit. There we go. Let's see if this makes it look a little better here. And back to the game we go. And that's a little better. And now you got Nettles up with a runner down at first and 1 out. Nettles batting .303 on the year, 11 homers and 33 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And I'll get the runner out at second. But they won't be able to turn 2. So now you still got a runner down at first and Nettles. And Cliff Johnson up now. And Johnson's batting .181 with 3 homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left. Page makes the catch. And the Yankees strand 1. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score here. You got Page due up, followed by Newman and Duncan. And Page is batting .277 with 10 homers and 26 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. First time they put the ball in play against GUIDERY. That'll be out number 1. And here comes Newman now. Newman's batting .296, 1 homer and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a comebacker. Back to the Gator. He tosses it over to Chambliss for out number 2. And Duncan's up now. And Duncan's batting .750 on the year with no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be another swing and a miss, another strikeout for GUIDERY. That's his 4th of the ball game. To the top of the third we go. Got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Yanks, Blair and Dent. Then it'll turn over back to Rivers. And Blair's batting .167, no homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Guerrera for out number 1. Up to the plate now steps Bucky Dent. And Bucky's batting .282 on the year with a homer and 18 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Duncan. And now he'll throw across the diamond over the gym for out number 2. We're back to the top of the order here. And Mickey Rivers, he grounded out to the mound the first time up. And that's going to be a rare play of 40. 65 and a 40 here. And that's going to be hit down to first base. Let's see what happens here. And a 44. It's probably going with only a 2. That's probably going to be fielding column 3. And it is. That's going to be an error on the first baseman. Jim drops the ball. That'll be an E3. And Mickey's aboard here. See if Mickey's going to take off and try to get in scoring position. And it would be a 29, and he is going to take off, try to get in scoring position here. So a 29, that would be a 55 or lower. And he's in there with a stolen base. How many stolen bases is that for Mick? And that'll be his 18th stolen base of the year. So another stolen base for Rivers. He's down at second. And Willie's up here. See what Willie can do now with a runner in scoring position. And Willie grounded out the third his first time up. Let's see if he can drive him in and get the Yankees on the board here first. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 7 and a 9. And that is going to be a base hit in the left field. And I didn't bring the calculator up, did I? Nope. So single in the left field. Let's see if he can score. Rivers got great speed out there with 2 outs here. And it's going to be a 46, 48. And Page doesn't have a very good arm out there at all. And Rivers speed. And he'll score with no throw. So that's an RBI single. RBI single, and the stolen base pays off, folks. Nice job there. Getting over to second in the scoring position as Willie delivers a base hit. Now RBI, and it's 1-0 New York. And now you got Thurman Munson up with a runner down at first. And Munson, he grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a pop-up behind home plate. And that'll end the inning, but the Yankees get on board with the RBI single by Randolph. It's 1-0 New York as we go to the bottom of the third. Got the bottom part of the order due up here for the A's. Armas, Eason, and Alexander. And Tony's batting .238 on the year, 1 homer and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Guidry starts this inning off with, what just happened there? Oh my, that ain't good. What just happened there? Yeah. And what did Thurman do? Okay. So Munson's going to, can't remember what Thurman did here. Just have him fly out. He's going to strike out. See the Yankees. Here now, Tony's going to strike out. And here comes Jim up now. Jim's batting .227 with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one off of Guidry. It's going to be the first base hit of the ball game for Oakland. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field for a 1-out double. He's got runner in scoring position here with 1 out. And Gary Alexander's up now. Alexander's batting .259 on the year with 12 homers already and 29 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 20 and a 9. And that is going to be a ground ball down the short. 46 and a 9 still should be fielding column 1, I would think. And yes, it is. And they'll look the runner back to second. Then fires over to first. Now there's 2 outs and a runner still down at second. We're back to the top of the order here. Delone up. He struck out his first time up against Gator. And that's going to be a 23 and an 11. That's going to be a single in the left field. And I don't think Jim's going to probably score here, but we'll give it a look. 23 and 11. Be a 47. Lou don't have that great of an arm out there, but Jim don't have very good speed, that's for sure. And a 26. 52 or lower, he ties this up. He's going to go for it. 52 or lower, he's going to score. And he's in there easily. So that's an RBI single by Miguel. And that ties this ball game up, folks. So it is 1 apiece here. And a runner down at first, 2 outs. And a 1-1 game. And now you got Edwards up. And Edwards is struck out his first time up. And that's going to be against the 24. And that is going to be a pop up down the short. Bucky makes the catch out in shallow left field for out number 3. But it's a 1-1 ball game as we go to the top of the 4th. We got Piniella, Chambliss, and Nettles due up here. And Lou's 0 for 1. He flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Edwards for out number 1. That brings up Chris Chambliss now. See if Chambliss can do something. He's singled back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Guerrero muffs that one up. That's going to be an E6. And Chambliss is on first now with 1 out. And that brings up Greg Nettles. Greg grounded into a force play his first time up. Not this time, folks. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is going. Greg Nettles goes yard and makes it a 3-1 ball game. That brings up Cliff Johnson now. Nobody 1 and 1 out. And Johnson flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short this time. Guerrero comes up with it, fires over to first for out number 2. The error cost them. Costly error. They've got 2 already this game. Blair's up, and he's 0 for 1. He grounded out the short his first time up. And that's going to be a 8 against the lefty. That'll be a 9. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And Blair's aboard here. See if Blair stays put. If he tries to steal here. And a 20 minus 3. He's going to stay put and let Bucky hit here. Bucky grounded out the 3rd his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Hellfire across the diamond over to first to get the batter for out number 3. But the 2-run homer by Nettles makes it a 3-1 ball game as we go to the 4th inning. And Guerrero, who just had that costly error, lead it off here, followed by Page and Newman. And Guerrero struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Willie. And he fires over to first for out number 1. And Page is up now. And Page grounded out the 3rd his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that's the 6th strikeout of the ball game for Gator. Louisiana Lightning's throwing today. Newman's 0 for 1. He grounded back to the mound to Guidry. And that's going to be another ground ball to Guidry. And another time he throws over the first. And that'll do it. The A's go down 1, 2, 3. To the top of the 5th we go. To the top of the order due up here for the Yankees. Rivers, Randolph, and Munson due up here. And Mickey's 0 for 2. He did reach on an error and came around the score after the stolen base. Those errors have cost the A's here. And Johnson strikes Mickey out for out number 1. Both errors have came across the score in this 3-1 ball game. And Willie is 1 for 2. He had an RBI single back in the third. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Duncan. That's third for out number 2. And let's see if Thurman here, the captain, can keep his inning going here. The captain's 0 for 2, grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be another ground ball. This one down to Edwards. And the Yankees go down 1, 2, 3. To the bottom of the 5th we go. We got Duncan, Armas, and Eason due up. And Duncan's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And not this time. Duncan gets a hold of this one off of the Gator. And that ball is hit into the gap, a leadoff double. See if the Gator can pitch around this mess. And he's got Tony up now, and Tony struck out his first time up, if I remember. Yep, he struck out against the GUIDERY his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And he'll look the runner back. The second, fire across the diamond for out number 1. Now there's 1 down, and Jim's up now. And Jim, he doubled and came around to score the only run so far for the A's. And that's going to be a base on balls. GUIDERY walks him down the first. Does set up the double play. And Alexander's up now, first and second. And GUIDERY throws that slider. Can he get a ground ball? Alexander grounded out to short his first time up. Not this time. He gets a hold of this. This game could be tied up, folks, or could even get the lead. And a 25, that ball is high. How far is this one going to go, folks, is the question. And that ball is out of here. Home run, Alexander. And just like that, the A's take a 4-3 lead. The Gator here getting in trouble in the 5th. Goes up a 3-run homer. And McGill's up. He struck out and singled and drove in a run back in the third. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Willie. So Gator settles down here and gets out number 2. And Mike Edwards is up now. And Edwards is 0 for 2. He struck out and popped up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Nettles. That'll end the inning, but the 3-run homer gives the A's a 4-3 lead. As we go to the 6th inning, we got Piniella, Chambliss, and Nettles due up here. And Lou's 0 for 2. He is flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the page for out number 1. See if Chambliss can get something going here with 1 out. And Chris is 1 for 2. He singled, reached on an air, and came around the score back in the 4th. And that's going to be a ground ball back to John at the mound. He tosses it over to first for out number 2. And Greg Nettles hit a 2-run homer his last time up back in the 4th. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Alexander catches this one. And that'll end the inning. The Yankees go down in order. Bottom of the 6th we go. We got Guerrera, Page, and Newman due up here. Guerrera's 0 for 2. You see the Yankees with a 281 batting average, 338 on base percentage, slugging 436 with a 774 OPS. Oakland hitting 244 with a 317 on base percentage, slugging 415 and an OPS of 732. And here's the pitch to Guerrera. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. That's going to be an error on Nettles. A rare error on Greg Nettles. One of the best fielding third basemen in the game muffs that one up. Now you got a runner down at first. Nobody out. And Page is up. He is grounded out and struck out. And that's a ground ball down the short. And they'll get Guerrera over at second for out number 1, but they won't be able to turn 2 here. Brings up Jeff Newman now. And Newman is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, both back to Guidry. And not this time. What does he do with this one? That's going to be a 23. That's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Blair makes the catch for out number 2. And now you got Duncan up now. And Duncan had a double and came around to score back in the 5th. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Blues got that. And that ends the inning. The A's strand 1. We go to the 7th inning. Still a 4-3 A's lead here. And Johnson, Blair, and Dent, the bottom part of the order, do up here. Cliff's 0 for 2. He's flown out and he is grounded out. And that's going to be a rare play, a 38, a 46, and a 38. And that's going to be a ball 1. Can Cliff Johnson take advantage of this 1-0 pitch, folks? And that's going to be a ground ball down the short for out number 1. And that brings up Paul Blair. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 today. And that's going to be a fly ball out the page and left for out number 2. And it's up to Buddy Dent to get something started here in the 7th inning. Dent is grounded out twice. And that's going to be another ground ball to Guerrera. That's going to end the top of the 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch. And it's a 4-3 ball game, folks. Guidry's got the bottom part of the order due up here. Armis, Jim, and Alexander. Tony's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Randolph over to Chambliss for out number 1. And here comes Jim. He hit that walk and came around to score in the homer. Here's the pitch to Jim. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Guidry strikes him out. That's Guidry's 7th strikeout of the ball game. And here comes Gary Alexander. He's 1 for 2. He hit that 3-run homer back in the 5th. And that's going to be a pop-up down the short. That'll end the inning. We go to the 8th. Yankees trailing by 1. Got the top of the order due up here against Johnson, Rivers, Randolph, and Munson. Can they get something going here? And that's going to be a ground ball back to John. He fires over to first for out number 1. It's up to Willie here to get on board here for the big boys. Willie's 1 for 3. He had an RBI single back in the 3rd. And that's going to be against the lefty. That'll be an 8. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Randolph out. And it's up to Thurman to get something going here in the 8th inning. And Thurman's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. And that's going to be another ground ball. This one down to Edwards. The Yankees go down quietly in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees trying to keep this a 1-run game. You got the top of the order due up. Delone, Edwards, and Guerrera. And Miguel's 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in the 3rd. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Gator strikes him out for out number 1. And now you got Mike Edwards up. And Edwards is 0 for 3. He is struck out, popped up, and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Randolph. 2 quick outs here in the 8th. And Mike Guerrera's up now. And he's 0 for 3. He is struck out, grounded out, and reached on an error. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Nettles. No error this time. He fires across the diamond. 1, 2, 3 goes the A's. Yankees need a run here to keep this game alive. They got Piniella, Chambliss, and Nettles due up here. Johnson trying to go to distance. Lose 0 for 3. He has flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Johnson for out number 1. Can Chris Chambliss get aboard here, folks? He is 1 for 3. He's been on base twice. He singled in the second, reached on an error, and came around to score in the fourth. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Chambliss strikes out. Yankees down to their last out. And it's Greg Nettles who hit the 2-run homer. Can he do it again here, folks, and tie this game up? And nope, they don't want no part of Nettles. They walk him. That brings the tying run down to first. And the go-ahead run is at the plate. Go-ahead run is at the plate. Let's see what they're going to do here. I guess they're going to let Mr. Heathcliff try to win this game. He is 0 for 3. He has flown out, grounded out the short twice. Can Cliff do the job here, folks? And nope, that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Duncan fires across the diamond, and this ball game's over, and the Yankees lose 4 to 3. Box score, Guidry with a tough loss. And the Yankees 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. The A's 4 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Yankees were 1 for 1 with runners in scoring position. You had Nettles with that home run. Yankees only left 4 men on base. Johnson pitched a hell of a game. And the A's, you had the 3-run homer by Alexander. The 1 bad pitch by the Gator. They was 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Only left 2 men on. Like I say, tough loss by the Gator. 7 and 2 now. 8 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 1, struck out 8, gave up the homer. Johnson goes the distance, picks up his 5th win. He's 5 and 2. 4 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. Walked 1, struck out 3, and gave up the homer. Take a look now at the rest of the American League here. You got the Red Sox traveling to California to take on the Angels. And the Red Sox win 11-6 on 11 hits, 1 run. Angels 6 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Got the Twins taking on the Tigers in Detroit. And see what the star is here. The Twins turned to triple play. Let's see when they did that. Take a look here at the scorecard. Where was the triple play at? Triple play was in the 1st inning, folks. How about that? In a 3-run inning, they turn a triple play. What could have been the Tigers jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the 1st inning and could have really put it on them. Yeah. Line drive down the 3rd. Yeah, line drive down the 3rd. Man, they could have really busted game open there. They still won 6-1 now. The Tigers 6 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. The Twins 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error. Now you got the White Sox taking on Kansas City. And the White Sox win 6-2 on 12 hits and an error. Kansas City 2 runs and 7 hits and no errors. Then you got the Indians going to Milwaukee, take on the Brew Crew. And the Indians win a close one. 5 runs, 14 hits, and 2 errors. The Brewers 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. Then you got the Orioles traveling out to Seattle to take on the Mariners. And the Mariners win 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. Orioles 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And the last game here in the American League is the Blue Jays traveling into Canada to take on the Blue Jays. And a shutout. The Blue Jays win in a shutout. And a walk-off win at that. Let's take a look at this box score here. And the bottom of the 10th inning. See how they scored here. The bottom of the 10th. Had a single, back-to-back singles, a ground out to third, a ground out to the first, and then the RBI single, second and third, nobody, and only 1 out. That's how they won this game. One for 8 with runners in scoring position. Left 12 men on base. Blue Jays were 1 for 4. Left 5 men on base. Jim goes 9 1/3 innings. How about that? Matlack pitches into the 10th inning and loses. And Willis gets the win for the Blue Jays, pitches an inning and 2/3. Let's take a look now at the standings and the leaderboard here after June 2nd in the American League. You got the Yankees 6.5 games up on the Red Sox, 7 games up on the Tigers. The Brew Crew 9.5 games back. Toronto 11.5. Indians 17, and the Orioles in last place 18 games back. And out west, got the Twins a half a game up on Chicago. The A's are now 2.5 games back. Kansas City 4.5. The Rangers 5. Angels 7. And the Mariners are 12.5 games back. Jim Rice is leading the league with a 353 batting average. Reggie with his 18 home runs. And Jim Rice with 49 homers. And see here with the pitchers, GUIDERY still leading the league with a 1.19 ERA. 3 pitchers tied with 8 wins. And the Goose with 13 saves on the year. Jim Rice is leading in MVP voting. And Ed Figueroa is leading in the Cy Young voting. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Let's see what the next matchup will be here with these Yankees and A's here. On June 3rd. Messerschmitt against Kuhn. So that should be a good matchup. See what Matt can do against Andy. Until next time, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. On your way out of Oakland, hit that like button and leave a comment. Till next time, y'all have a great day and take care.